Call me naive, but I had no idea how prevalent this was in our nation. How many of these predators? I mean, we all know how YouTube's algorithm works. We watch true crime videos pop up, and all of a sudden I start seeing all these videos about predators. Having a 7-year-old daughter scares the living shit out of me that some sick bastard might one day try to lure her in. And you know how young kids are impressionable, and I'm not saying my daughter is by any means, but children in general are impressionable. And to think that these sick fucking people are doing this just drives me insane. What else drives me insane is that some of these groups, like the first video I uploaded, can really make it more difficult for the cops to do their job and put these pieces of shit away when they're out there playing vigilante to the max. Like, if you're gonna fucking bust somebody, bring the cops with you. Tell the cops first. Ask the cops if you could be a part of the arrest since you already have all this documentation. Don't just go out there, create a scene in a store, and having one guy, like in this last one, get punched even though he fucking deserved it. Still, that's gonna get him off the hook. Saying, oh, I was intimidated, this and that. Any good lawyer is gonna get him off the hook. And there goes another asshole walking free. So I'm just saying, like, I wish these guys treaded more lightly. So this one, this Mr. Mike Fox, he has some good points, and I like where he's coming from. So let's do this one more video of his.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I think we can all agree that long drawn out intros on YouTube are unnecessary and boring on the most part, so let's get straight into this one. The video that I'm watching today and hoping to give some sort of enlightenment on was uploaded by a group called Anti-Predator on YouTube. It says that the video was originally uploaded by a group called Pop Squad. I don't know if they're affiliated with each other, but the link to the original video that I'm watching will be in the description down below. So without any further hesitation, let's get into the video.
So what's up?
Nothing much. Just got out of work like not too 2 hours ago.
Really? That's pretty nice. How long was your walk?
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
But it felt like longer because I was walking.
Really? Like how far behind the bike shop do you live?
Maybe like 50, not even like 15 minutes, like 5 minutes away because I live right behind Hess gas station.
So the video starts off with who is pretending to be this 14-year-old boy that Savannah, the person in this video, is meeting, actually confronting her and pretending that he is in fact the 14-year-old boy that she believes she was coming to meet. This can go one of two ways. This is a more dangerous way of approaching one of these situations. She's already arrived at the meet where she organised to meet this person, so this technically isn't necessary. But because at this point she genuinely feels she is meeting the person that she believes she was meeting, she might say something that she wouldn't say to a different person. So it's a catch-22. It's dangerous because we don't know what she's like, if she's armed, or if she's, carrying a knife, a gun, or anything of the sort. But at the same time, it's a way to get further information out of somebody.
How you doing? How you doing this evening?
Good, hurry.
I'll take a seat for me. Cameras are rolling right now for your protection and ours, okay? This is so you can't say that we try to beat you up and, vice versa. All right? Want to sit on this side for me?
Then obviously the rest of the group come over, tell her to sit down, and basically say the YouTuber's equivalent of the Miranda's rights. Although not placed under custody, I don't think you can do that in some states in America. You can in England. So for example, if I meet somebody, I can place them under citizen arrest. Under section 24A of the Criminal and Police Evidence Act, I can basically detain somebody legally until the police arrive. In America, can't really do that. But they explained that they are recording for both of their protection, which is the right way to go about this. Obviously, the intent isn't to record for either of their protection. Quite clearly, it's to make a YouTube video as well, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as all the rest of the protocol is done correctly.
Can you speak up a little bit?
I just came to walk.
You came here to walk?
To meet him.
To meet him? Who's him?
Keith.
Yep, that's his name. How old is Keith?
15.
Huh?
15.
Try again.
15.
Try again.
15.
You're gonna keep saying 15? Should I go back to the chat logs?
So Savannah starts off this by saying 18 and then continues to say 15 over and over again. I don't think there is a state in America that has the legal consent age of 15, so technically she's admitting to a crime anyway. The person she was attempting to meet was apparently 14 years old. There's not a crazy amount of difference there because it's still an illegal age, but obviously it proves that she's going to be actively trying to lie to make her case seem less bad. Because in some people's heads, 15 is better than 14. Technically, both still crimes in America. In other countries around the world, and even some countries in Europe, both of those ages are actually considered legal for consent.
Wow.
But obviously, we go on a case-to-case basis, depending on which country we're in.
So before you start trying to lie your way out of this, let's get one thing straight, okay? Number one, the decoy Keith is 19 in real life. Okay. You were chatting to me the entire time. From the second you said, so handsome, we need to hook up, right? That was your first two messages, okay? You were chatting to me from that point all the way to sitting right here.
Two things jump out at me here. One, what fucking 14-year-old is called Keith? Like, I don't know a single Keith. No, I know one Keith. He's 62 or 63. Like, it's not a 14-year-old's name. If you're a 14-year-old called Keith, comment down below. I'll pin you as top comment because that's mental and I feel bad for you. Secondly, he's mentioned the fact that he was the one that was speaking the entire time, so he's accepted all legal responsibility for this conversation. This means later on down the line, if it turns out that he was entrapping this person, if he was luring this person, or if he was flat out just committing crimes, he has already admitted his responsibility for those, as this person is obviously responsible for the other side of the conversation.
You want to try to tell me what you believe the age was again before I have to go back to the chat logs? How old is Keith?
He said 15.
No, he said he turns 15 in April, which would make him what? Okay. Either way, it's wrong, right? Because how old are you? 20 what? 26.
Obviously, at the age of 26, you should fully know your sort of legal position in these circumstances. If this person was, under the age of 18, for example, nothing would be done about it in a court of law. And even to the fact that if they were 18 years old, the chances are, again, nothing would be done about it. But because they've admitted that they're in their late 20s, they're completely legally responsible for their actions.
Now, I could go back to the chat logs, and we could read verbatim, or, you could keep on bullshitting around. One of your first initial questions was, so what are you looking for on here? And Keith was making it clear that he was confused and trying to figure himself out. True or false? Okay. So what else would he be doing on there? You asked that question twice. You asked it when you first met him on the application, and then you asked him when you guys started texting.
So you mentioned the fact that one of her first questions was, what are you looking for on here? Legally, there's nothing wrong with that, unless she's previously been told the age. And then even then, what are you doing on here doesn't lead to sexual conversation every single time. And there's reasonable doubt that they weren't ensuing that particular thing. If they flat out said, are you looking for sex? Are you looking for a hookup? Then that's different. But because it's, what are you doing on here? It may be the same thing, but because of the legal term, it changes. And this might actually prevent them being prosecuted for this particular crime if it was these sort of conversations.
Startled still? What was going to happen if there was really a 14-year-old boy here? Or better yet, why do you think that this is okay?
So obviously Savannah's staying very quiet, as is her right to do so. There's a way to get these people to speak, and I don't think this person's doing it the right way. He's being too confrontational, and I guess this person just doesn't feel comfortable speaking. The idea behind being one of these predator catchers is you have to be good at speaking to these people and getting key bits of information out of them. Otherwise, later on in court, you don't have as much information.
And that's a good point, because look at how Chris Henson used to do it. You know, mind you, he was professional, and he would draw it out of them little by little by little, not just straight up going to that main point ASAP. You know, he's getting the information that the cops want, while these guys are just like, boom, laying it all out, like showing their cards, you know, before they even face up.
And because we can't see the text messages previous to this encounter, we don't know what the conversation was like. They may have explicitly said, I'm coming here to meet you for sex, I'm coming here to meet you for this. But if they haven't, and they haven't admitted it on camera, them ensuing it and making it seem like that's what they were asking for, technically is defamation of character, and they could be sued. The whole point of defamation of character is publicly, you know, representing something false as if it's the truth. So if she at any point hasn't said anything sexual, and they've presented this video as if she has, they could be sued for that. But obviously, meeting a 14-year-old when you're 26 still has its own legal issues that she could be arrested for, i.e. kidnapping.
You're not in any danger. Go ahead.
I already knew he was not 15,
Oh, okay.
so that's why I came here.
So that's why you came in.
Yes.
That's the best you could come up with after staying silent for that long? That is your best? Really? You were talking to me the whole time. So you should know that I'm not new to this. Okay? I know what I'm doing. I've dealt with quite a few of you already.
Obviously, that's just some bullshit excuse. Again, we can't see the chat logs. We don't know at what point Savannah was told the age. And again, this is a really important part of the evidence. You have to be told the age within the first portion of the conversation. Because if there's a long portion of conversation and then you say the age, they can argue in the court that they thought they were just playing around. They just assumed they were 18, they were joking around that they were younger. You have to say it at the beginning of the conversation before anything like this happens. Because again, if there's sexual conversation, at that point you then say, hey, I'm a minor, and then there's more sexual conversation. The sexual conversation just doesn't mean anything, and it's quite easy to argue with a good lawyer that you just thought they were lying. Especially if the main account that you first spoke to them on said that they were in fact over the age.
To be exact, you're actually number 14. In just over a month. So you could imagine how many times I heard that. You want to try again?
This always confuses me when people can do so many catches in a month. I maybe confront 3 or 4 people each month, maybe less, sometimes a little bit more. But between that sort of amount, you got to remember that each one of these conversations takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of resources, and it takes up a lot of everything, really. For example, if I catch somebody and I go to the police, I spend a day or 2 doing interviews and giving my statements.
See, and that's the way to do it. He's going straight to the police. That's what they need to be doing, because they're just letting these assholes walk.
If you're doing 14 catches a month already, which maybe ensures that there's more days left in the month, how are you having the time to do all of these, message these people constantly, and also do all these police statements? It just doesn't seem like you could do the job properly and also do this many catches.
You're not going to tell me that you knew he was 15 or wasn't 15. That's not the truth. How many times have you done this?
Never done it.
Never done it. You know how many times I heard that one too, right?
This is true. Everybody says it's their first time. If 100 people say it's their first time, what are the chances that all 100 are saying the truth? Unlikely. So she might be telling the truth, she might be lying. Later on, we can prove that if it does go to court.
What if I was his father? Or his uncle? Do you think cameras would be rolling? For your protection? Better yet, do you think we'd be having a conversation?
So this is a major legal fuck up, and it's quite a shame really, because everything beforehand seemed relatively professional. Even though they haven't explicitly said that they would do bodily harm to this person, they've ensured it. Saying something like this will make this person feel under duress. They'll feel scared at the thought of being attacked if it wasn't these people. And just that alone, that amount of duress on this person, can throw the case out. Because again, they could say in court, I was scared for my life because they threatened me. And technically it's true. Although it's not a direct threat, depending on the jury, depending on the judge, depending on how good your lawyer is, this could easily be construed as a threat. It's quite obvious what they're implying at, and the only reason that they would say something like this is to make them feel uncomfortable.
Yes or no? No.
You can instantly see that the body language of this person has changed. She was being quiet before, but she was making eye contact. She was looking up, and now you can see that she's visibly more scared. She's hunched in, she's looking down, you can tell. And this one little thing may even throw this entire case out. And it's a shame that people... It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
You had a lot to say when we were chatting. Why are you so quiet now? You got all freshened up and everything to come meet a 14-year-old boy. And now you have nothing to say. I find that odd.
I don't find it odd at all. If you confront somebody with something that they didn't expect was going to happen, for example, if anyone's ever seen Derren Brown, he does this thing where he shakes people's hands, covers their face with their hand, and they sort of faint. When something goes against what people are thinking is going to happen, there's two things that people do. They either run and get scared and chat it, or they just freeze like a deer in headlights. This person is just frozen like a deer in headlights, and it's easily explainable.
Well, you could start your walk home. We do have to film you leaving. So if you don't have anything else to say for yourself, after you.
So, without calling the police, without doing anything the right way.
So I was just about to say that. With the last two, is it the same group? Okay, so I don't know if it's the same group that did the first video I uploaded, but he's right. No cops. Which is the point. And I'm not getting that. Like, I'm as perplexed as he is. It's like, where the fuck are the cops? It's not different because she's a woman. She's still going after minors.
In fact, they just let this person go home to their laptop, to their phone, and delete evidence of every other case that they may be a part of. Delete all of the indecent images of photos that they may have installed. Do all of this stuff and cover up crimes that they may have committed because of your decision not to go to the police. I know that a lot of the predator catching groups are told not to call the police. And I know a lot of them are told to email the evidence over instead. But there's been no mention of the police throughout this video. The police weren't called, they weren't threatened to be, nothing. It's just, let's grab some content and let it go home. We've got another video this month, that's the 15th. Yeah, 15th in 30 days. This is why they have the ability to do it, because they're not spending a day or two doing statements at police stations. That's how you can do this many cases. I was wondering before, and it makes sense now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Savannah, 26, came out to meet with what he believed was a 14-year-old boy.
And we let them walk home and delete evidence of any other crime that they may be committing. See you guys in the next one in 2 days. Peace. Everything was relatively well done and professional until the point that they basically alluded to threatening this person and then obviously let them go home without calling the police. You don't know what this person's going to do, if they're going to commit when they get home, if they're going to do serious bodily damage to themselves or other people in their house in a manic episode because they've just been caught doing something like this, or if they're going to go home and delete the evidence of all these other things, or they're going to go home to a kid that they've actually got there that they've kidnapped. You need to call the police. I can't stress that enough.
God, he makes all the points.
How's it going, everybody?
Just right on. I mean, you're really not doing any good just by confronting them. That almost seems like they're doing it for their own personal pleasure. I mean, you know, like I had put in there, self-gratification. That's all it is. It's just sickening to me. So, anyways, guys, that is it for me for the rest of the evening. I hope you guys had a wonderful Halloween. Hope you guys were all safe and sound, and hopefully tomorrow will be a wonderful day for each and every one of you guys. Again, I can't thank each and every one of you enough for subscribing to my channel. I think it's so cool. Um, just to see it even get to where it is right now, I never even thought I would get 10 subscribers, let alone, over 350. And you know what? To me, that's special. It might not be 350,000, a million, whatever. I'm going to continue to improve in areas that I need to improve. And so, if you guys ever have any suggestions, feel free to dislike the chat, dislike, a piece of content that I put up and tell me, like, hey, you should try to do this different. You should try to do that different. And I definitely will. Like I also mentioned in my last video, I do give away prizes for free, and I do understand that, being a stranger, you don't feel comfortable giving your address out. So if you have a PO box, or if you have like a church or rec center or somewhere that you'd want me to send you a package, if I have when I have another competition, like I'll be having a competition soon, and I'm giving out this as a prize. It's a 1080p ProCam webcam. The last prize I gave out was a Netgear. I think it was like 5 channel Wi-Fi 6. One person only spoke up, and she won it. And she kindly enough posted a video saying, "See, he's not full of shit. He followed through, and I do. There's no reason to lie." So, if you guys ever see me throw a competition, join in on it. Just even if you get it wrong, like, hey, I'm glad that you participated. Here, this is for you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And that's how I feel about each and every one of my subscribers. I mean, if I could, I'd send each and every one of you guys, like, a webcam, or, a router, or a modem router combo, or something cool, gift cards, things like that. I don't know, it just makes me feel better to give. And especially after, like, really watching all this shit that I do, it's a good way to make, like, kind of cleanse your palate of just this horrible world that I didn't even really give much thought behind. But there are so many of these fucking people that it just scares me so bad. Anyways, hope you guys found this video informational. Like, did I say that right? I don't know. I'm getting pretty tired. But watch over your kids. Watch over what they do online. Watch over, who they're sharing pics with. Because even if they post something on Facebook, TikTok, just, for random, I mean, that shit is out there everywhere for people to use. And it's scary. Because people don't always have the best intent in mind. And that's just, it's sickening to me. So, just always, keep an eye on your kids. I know you guys are good parents, and, we always want the best for our children. Our kids might bitch and groan like, "Mom, Dad, why are you stalking me on Facebook," or whatever. But, in the long run, when they grow up and get out of that awkward stage, they're going to thank you more than anything else from keeping them from making stupid decisions. So, in saying all that, again, thank you guys so much for deciding to subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to see it hit, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. Like, I want to keep on seeing it grow. And as I said, come March, I'm going to start changing up the format a little bit, creating more of my own content. I have a black screen behind me. So, or a green screen behind me. So I'm learning that. I have a Logitech Brio, which is a 4K, I think 60 frames per second camera, which is a really good camera, but the computer isn't the best in the world. Just my monitor, which is about the size of a freaking 60-inch OLED almost. But no, once I upgrade, a lot of my content here, my software and hardware, I do want to start producing my own kind of, videos. As I said in my last video as well, you know, I've worked in the music industry for many years, and a lot of my first videos were about music, and I still continue to do a lot of music videos from, not a lot, but I still do them from time to time. And a little bit more about me. I got into acting about maybe when I was in 1992, so I was 12 years old. I quit, played football for years, got real big, lost a shitload of weight, went back to acting, got married, stopped acting again, got divorced, went back to acting, and this has been the first year that I've been on a roll. 3 commercials for YouTube, 1 feature film, a couple modeling gigs, uh, and yeah, I mean, you know, the sky's the limit. All it takes is for just one person to believe in you, and you could accomplish so much. And I feel grateful. And to all the supporters who, you know, like, oh, cool, I'm excited to hear about your movie or whatever. You know, if you guys didn't hear, I can say the movie's name finally, since I am under a non-disclosure agreement. But the name of the movie is called What We Don't See, and it probably will not be out until 2020. Well, I know for a fact it won't be out till 2023, maybe 2024. Um, but yeah, my first motion picture, and not a lot of guys and gals can say that, you know, that they had speaking roles in motion pictures, and for me, that is badass cool. I never got enamored with the lifestyle of the music industry. I never got old gawky, like, oh my god, except for the big crush that I had, which was Vanessa Carlton, which I say that all the time. In acting, it would be Rachel McAdams. Oh my God, I'd probably like, yeah, make a fool out of myself. Nonetheless, yeah, they're things that I'm striving for. They're dreams and dreams that I've made come true. And like I said, if I could do it, shit, anybody could do it. And not everything I put on here is as negative as this. Just know that if this is your first time watching, and if it is your first time on here, you know, feel free to subscribe and like and the bell and all that stuff. And again, on the behest of my some of my subscribers, thank you guys for convincing me. I did open an Instagram and a Twitter account. I'll leave that in the description. And yeah, that's it for this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Take care. And until next time, peace.